online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I pre got the shoulder.
You did. You were ready.
Pre-work.
There you go for it.
Yes, we're acting
Nice
snaps. See, that's
up.
why we gotta change it up a little bit, give it a little spicy, you know? A little Thursday spice for you. Happy almost kind of definitely President's Day is coming up, so we're all getting Monday off. That deserves a little minute extra
Valentine's
spice.
Day.
Yes.
Wait,
little
you guys-
Valentine's Day action for us.
You guys get
yes.
Monday off?
Oh, is that just me? We'll talk about that later.
That's
So sorry.
I'm
I love
working.
my job. Okay.
Do you think Harvey and Mike get President's Day weekend off?
You know what? Probably.
No.
I feel like
I don't think
The law never sleeps.
thank God we're not lawyers. Okay, welcome to AfterBuzz, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode. I'm your host, Stacy Ike, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on SoundCloud as well as iTunes. Make sure you give us 5 stars, rate us, give us your comments. We love to read them and keep in touch with you. During this episode, if you want to tweet us live, we are streaming live on the website. My Twitter is OneTakeStace, as well as my co-host. What's your Twitter?
Hey guys, it's Nicole Brajer, and you can follow me at Nicole Brajer. It's down there.
Yes,
for
yes,
ya.
yes. What about
Hey
you,
guys,
honey?
Lauren Ebersol here, and you can follow me at The Fancy Hippie.
Steve Kauffmann here. You can follow me at Steve Kauffmann. That's Kauffmann. I just tweeted the link, so you should have clicked it and just
Nice.
seen exactly what you
I
wanted.
absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. So you guys have our Twitter handles. Like I said, we have our phones out. Keep in touch with us. We want to hear what you thought about last night's episode. We are already on episode 14, which is killing me softly because I know that means we're close to the end. I just had a moment. Steve just told me that. So, all right, here's the jump in. We had the flashbacks episode, which I had high hopes. And as I told you guys before, it wasn't my favorite episode. I love you guys so much, but it wasn't my favorite. But you guys had a lot more smiles. So
loved
what'd you think?
it.
I also love this episode. Real quick, when can we buy the Book of Donna?
I know.
Yes.
I was thinking that Donna's very classy, so it's not gonna like be it. It might be like a Samuel French. I feel like she's the type of person that's a bookstore in LA that's like super popular.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm like, let me
Thank
clarify
you.
that.
It's
But
her life
it just
in,
seems
like,
yeah, that would be
4
right.
acts or something. It's like
It just
a
seems like
play.
Donna would have a book somewhere like that. You know, forget Barnes and Nobles. I'll do. You know, I just love that. But okay, so what do you think?
I loved it, you know, and last week I was talking about how I don't love the flashback episodes, and this one I was pleasantly surprised. I love the way they handled it between the back and forth of 6 years ago and present day, and that car ride. That road trip. And I think it was nice because also the present day was so streamlined where most of it was that drive, and then we kept I liked it. Although I said before, I have a hard time watching pre-Pearson Specter Mike. It makes me sad. It gives me anxiety. I don't like it.
Yeah, see,
I don't like it.
He's hotter there.
Specter Mike
Yeah.
is hot.
He's hot.
He looked good. Whoever was styling
Yeah,
him.
but
I mean,
in a-
come on.
in a-
He's
in a-
hot.
He's
Amazing.
bad boy ass.
Ladies, let's be clear. It's called love because
He's a Grammys boy.
he was working with his fiance
That was-
on
yes.
this episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
As soon as I saw Troyan on the episode, I was like, what a slick way to get her on the show. That's about, you know, with as Claire and for the flashback and the scenes. I was hoping they would actually be, you know, opposites, or there'd be some kind of more animosity between them, but it went right into a kiss. You know, well, I wouldn't say right,
Yeah,
but as
but-
soon as I saw a kiss, I was like, oh my God, okay, this is gonna be different. So I actually did not mind it. I actually really loved her, and I just wonder what they were like before they said action. I just wonder what they were talking about, because I know they were like, I love you, I love you. You get on my nerves. Like, I just wonder. I really wanted to see the takes of that. I thought that was so cool because they are both extremely good actors and actresses, and I was like, wow, just to be in those different characters and him to be fully Mike. It's not like he gave me any of Patrick J. Adams.
No,
right? You know,
right.
that's what I was really happy about. So I definitely kudos to him.
Pearson Hardman Specter Mike.
Is fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
He's so funny.
I like
I
that
love
Mike.
it.
I will
He's
also,
hilarious, yeah.
and I like the depth he got in this episode.
Right.
We understand, and he doesn't drive. Like, how do you?
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing about having a show about lawyers in New York is that You can get away with having one of them never drive a car.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I'm like, how are we just finding that out 4 seasons? That must have been something Aaron just threw in there because I was like,
no, but then you really think to it, like
he's never
he's never driven a car.
It makes
Always
sense.
drove a bike.
When we get to the end, we definitely have to drop that quote that he says about Harvey giving him his ticket to driving, kind of, so to speak. And we just get to know a little bit more of Mike, like from this episode with the flashbacks. I feel like I think he's cuter. I have a little soft spot for Mike now. I always I was trying to find that attraction that you have, and this episode, I found it in this episode.
Oh, but putting Mike aside, as much as it hurts me to see it, Trevor.
Don't say Trevor. Oh!
I hate Trevor.
I still hate. The thing is, okay, so the only reason I said that it wasn't my favorite flashback episode, because I think in the beginning when I started to see the flashbacks between when he was first starting to work at Pearson Hardman, Specter, who knows what they are now.
Stacy
Ike. I'm like, say Ike, throw that in there.
Kauffmann, Brajer, Ebersol.
What if, Aaron? Oh my God. When we started seeing him in the beginning, I kind of knew all those things. I don't feel like today I learned, besides the fact that he doesn't drive, I already knew his grandma didn't like Trevor. You didn't have to tell me that. I already knew Trevor was a terrible influence. I already knew Trevor was, the only thing is that, okay, the girl that kind of got you off your feet and how Rachel got her job. But I wanted to know, how did you even get to that building? Well, actually, we already knew that. But give me something else. What happened in college? Give me the scene when the Trevor got you in trouble.
I think we'll probably get some more flashbacks.
Okay, good.
Later on. But I think that this flashback episode leaned more towards showing us the relationship between Harvey and Lewis and why it is the way it is.
And I did appreciate that.
And the Mike stuff was just because, you got to show Mike too. So let's throw some stuff in there. And how powerful it was when he said, I met this girl and she makes me want to get myself together. I mean, he used the S word, the real S word.
Right.
And how quickly that derailed. Trevor.
I've got to be that kind of girl for somebody. Because my gosh, literally all Claire said was hello. He was like, get my life together, get my life. I'm like, gosh, I don't feel like my hello was that enticing.
But this was a very a believable arc for Mike as well, that explains why he was so old as it pertained, at the beginning of the series, why he would have been so old for somebody who had failed out of law school long ago.
Sure.
They're like, no, he kept making the same mistakes.
Right.
Which I think makes him really human and really believable. So it's important to show us that he screwed up, and then he made the same mistakes again, and then screwed up again, and then screwed up his way into the best law firm in the world.
I love that it makes him believable. I don't think there's ever been a scene that's made me not think Mike is Mike. He's not Patrick J. Adams. I love when I can separate. But I agree with that. I like that. It did make him a lot more human, and even bring up every time they talk about his grandma, I'm like,
I love Granny.
Love her.
I like that she got to come back this episode.
Her and Trevor. I was like, this is nice, but I was kind of thinking Trevor's ex-girlfriend would come back or something. I don't know.
I can't. No, I don't watch. Sorry, Trevor. I can't.
I know he really is a horrible friend. He irritates me.
The worst.
Yeah. Claire kind of reminds me of Rachel in a sense. It opened my eyes as to why he was so attracted to Rachel. And I remember at the end of this episode, he says something like, "There will never be another girl like this." And, then it goes to show. Then we see Rachel at the end in a flashback, and it was like, okay, now that makes sense to me.
That's cool.
It was funny because I had a similar thought, but when he was like, "There'll never be another girl," and I'm like, "Oh, but that's it. She wasn't your girl. Your girl's still coming."
I know. I love that. You're gonna make it on your own.
They look alike.
I'm actually on a thread.
Yeah.
I'm actually on a thread for the subreddit for Suits, and if you're not on the subreddit for Suits, there's like 20,000 subscribers.
Yes.
It's dope.
I love it.
And somebody there said Claire greater than Rachel.
Oh,
really?
Shots are fired on this subreddit, guys.
I don't like.
I mean, Rachel was so cute.
I think Rachel is. I love them together.
When she did her little sorry microphone. When she did her little happy dance, it was so cute.
It was right. She's like,
professional.
And I love when she was like, I don't want to. Why don't you want to ask me why I don't work with my dad? And she's like, girl, please, I got a daddy too. I thought that was very
awesome,
very a common thread, and women who are daddy's girls who also realize okay, that can only go so far before I got to figure out my own thing. I thought
there's very far and few of those
You don't
know what I mean?
So?
Daddy's girls that will always be a daddy girl forever.
That's true.
Versus the
that's
ones
true.
that want to get out of it.
Yes, that's true.
I find them to be far.
That is very funny. Oh,
yeah.
I love that. So, what did you guys think overall when it came to Harvey and Lewis's relationship? Because I will say that was my favorite part to know. Okay, they've actually been doing this since the beginning, and I see why Lewis became the way he came. You know what I mean? Why he had that initial anger, even though it shouldn't have been festered to the degree we see now. But we understand where it started.
But I also see where Harvey's been coming from.
True.
And why he doesn't want to do work with him and why he doesn't trust him.
Wow.
I totally get it. And I love, we get to see the core of Harvey, which we already know, but that loyalty, like when he's getting this client that Hardman sends him out to get, he shows him his yearbook photo. We get this quote: "Loyalty is a two-way street. If I'm asking it from you, you're getting it from me." And that is those are words that he lives by.
Right.
We see that in every episode. And I think if anything, we learned even more so what an icky, slimy creature Hardman is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just seeing him again and remembering how much I hated him. I really did not want to see him again. Honestly, he just annoyed. Like when he was like, "What do you mean? You're the one that's in my games." It's like,
that was a good.
I don't
Hardman.
like when you
that was
talk
a good
like that.
impersonation, Stacy.
Because he just, "What do you mean? I'm the boss." Blah blah blah. Blah. I'm like,
He's
he bothered
twisted
me
in the way that he talks.
Yes.
You could tell he's up to something.
And that's the thing. Harvey didn't at that time, and now you understand why he never wanted him back. You know why he didn't even believe him, regardless of whatever happened to Hardman. And it reminded me. I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy."
Like that's when that's when the lines got drawn.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
Up until then, he thought he can just prove his way into what he wanted, what he wanted to be a partner. Whereas I think that moment was like, well, you don't know how to bill for us, and that's all that matters.
And how about Jessica being on board with it?
Well, he was managing partner
at the time, and
but she seemed like, aside from that, she actually did support it, which I found a bit shocking.
You know what? I don't have a problem with it because now that we see Jessica as a managing partner, she's also been like a slight little mom to Harvey. She's always known like kind of what's best for him in a sense. Yeah. And if she didn't make him wait until he did get it, he probably would have went in and never came out to Harvey that we love right now. You know what I mean? Like he came in as already kind of too tough, but if he would have came in then, there would have been no.
She always
save.
has a plan.
She always had, and I love that because we see that it all worked out.
She's like looking,
but she's always like
moving the puzzle.
And at that point, she was in the middle of a huge power struggle for the whole firm.
Absolutely,
that she has to pick her battles with Hardman. Yeah, and that's probably not one.
She's like, once I get it, you're good. But if I'm not where I can be to make that kind of decision, let's all just, you know. But I thought that was cool. I wish they would have cut her hair or put her glasses on her. Or something.
Yeah, because she did look about the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's only 6 years. That's not a long time.
I guess you're right. I'm thinking it's like a decade later.
I also enjoyed that because one thing I always remembered from the very beginning of the series was that Lewis outranked Harvey at the very beginning of the series. Right. And it was a story I always wondered about, like how did that, if Harvey is like this superstar there, how did Lewis outrank him before we even got there?
Right.
So this story was great to understand why.
That's true. I love that Harvey was the only one that had an assistant. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, you've always been the coolest. Like,
well, but in the same scene,
Donna's always been the
coolest. Well, yeah, because in the same scene, we realize that he's the only associate with an assistant, and that assistant's booking him Michael Jordan.
Exactly. Right. Oh my god.
They brought up a question, then answered the question.
Because in the beginning, when the first series started, we always saw the Michael Jordan references, and I was like, what are they talking about? But I love that. I think I don't get why she's not a lawyer or what the story is behind Donna. Do we know?
I think that and YouTubers, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think that she wanted to be a performer for a long time. True, and then I think she started being a law secretary because it paid the bills and was the whole thing, and then got invested in it because she's also really good at it. Right. And I think she enjoys the game. So yeah, that's my thought on it.
I don't want her to be limited to the game, though.
And the way she does her job, she wouldn't have time. She wouldn't have time to get a law degree.
Yeah. Well, going off Donna in the preview for next week, I'm just like, oh my god, what did she do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now we're back to current, so I'm like, wait, really? What? We're gonna really lose her, or what's happening? Yeah, that was a little scary. But so continuing on, so if you guys want to maybe jump to the present right now. So we see when Harvey says, okay, you guys are going to work your crap out. And he tricked them both to coming to, I forget, is it something Motors? I can't,
McCarran
Motors.
Motors.
Thank you. McCarran Motors. So he has them both come and he says, we're going to take this joyride. Now, I had my initial, like, they're going to fight, they're going to yell. But what did you guys think about the conversations that were had, the definitely times that, you know, Lewis was punching at Mike in terms of grandmother and overdoing the fraud thing. And I think
he was basically trying to make him out to be a con man and get him to admit all of his lies. And
it's like, it's just
really
one lie.
It was one, and he's exploding it into so many, like, and, you know, just commenting about his whole life and his past. And, like, that would... I want to pull over the car and beat him up too, because, like, come on, man, you've made up with everybody else. Like, make up with me already. Right. So,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I completely agree. Like, Lewis, all right, now's the time. Let's get over it. But the part where Mike said you've made up with Rachel, you've made up with Donna, like, why? I understood why he was the last one.
Of course,
you're the reason. He set off everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get that, but I thought it was really fun to see them literally, like, on an emotional journey and on a real journey to the point where at the end Mike was really able to open up to Lewis. And he said, and sorry if I'm jumping ahead of here, but Lewis said this wonderful line with to Mike when he said, "You're not a fraud, you just never went to law school."
Right. Oh, that was perfect.
Which I thought was so cool.
Also, that was a good line.
Also, I feel it was on this panel I was asked who would win in a fight, Harvey or Lewis, and I said,
I was very surprised.
Well,
me too.
What I said
you
was,
said Lewis, didn't you?
I said Harvey, but Lewis would surprise you how much he'd keep up. And Lewis kind of proved this to us. That had Harvey not saved Mike would have been.
Lewis has so much rage, and why would you?
And I bet he's taken like martial arts classes or something. You know, it's the type of thing he would have done.
He does that thing with his nose, like
Oh, and he's gonna cry.
He said, "You ruined my life. You ruined my firm."
That's the thing. You guys were right there with me. I was just gonna say that line did not sit well with me. I was like,
really?
No, you ruined my firm. 100%. You ruined my life? How? How did I ruin your life?
That's it.
Yeah, the firm is his life.
I didn't like
it. Even in the flashbacks, he had the pictures of himself on the desk.
Right.
Yeah.
But why? Okay, take out the fact that Mike did not go to college. Sure, that is a felony. Thank you. But all the things Mike has done for that firm up until you found out, what ruined it? What, you know what I mean? There were moments that were scheming, but you had nothing to do with it. You didn't have to do any of that stuff. You honestly, Harvey should be the one freaking out all the time. You know what I mean?
But I don't think Lewis deals in logic.
I guess I really do try to break it down logically.
And I feel like in Lewis's mind also, had you not come in 4 years ago like you did, you wouldn't have been part of what skyrocketed Harvey to become name partner completely just over me. You wouldn't have.
That's a good way to look at it.
You wouldn't have had Rachel and Donna and Harvey and Jessica and everyone who we're learning are the only people in his, like, for the most part, the only people in his life.
Yeah.
You're the reason all those people kept an incredible secret from me and helped me feel betrayed and then feel like nothing will ever be the same with all the people in my life.
That's a wonderful way to look at it.
The idea of like you ruined my life is that like everything I knew up until I found out you didn't go to law school. You destroyed.
Yeah.
But why do you think he cried?
Because he was
just super emotional at that point.
Well,
his cry face is wonderful. Wow.
That's a masterful cry face.
Yeah, I was like, what acting coach? Let me get that written. Yeah. Like, that was wonderful.
Harvey was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he was like,
the look on his face, he was like, oh, come on.
But I think it was also
a little relief.
Well, I think that cry was also, man, I can't even hold a grudge with this guy forever.
I'm tired of this.
I think so too. I can't, because for me to move forward with my life and everything I need to do, I need to bury this hatchet. And it's like, and the him that just wants to probably hold on to that forever
won't let him.
That's partly where the cry came from. Like, God, I can't even just be angry about this.
They need each other though. Yeah. Mike and Lewis and Mike.
Absolutely.
Like, especially if down the road something happens. Like, I feel as though Lewis is going to be the one to kind of like get him out of it. You know, as much as Harvey always saves the day, he always needs Lewis's help. So
that was a very interesting scene when he was like, "Hey, I want to come back to you for help," and just the way that they I don't know. I wasn't expecting to find out that Lewis schemed, but when I did, I was like, okay, I'm not that surprised. But then I'm also like, wow, how did the whole interaction was
that was actually a turn I didn't see.
I didn't. I was like, oh, he was like, that's why I came back to help you. And then he was like, no, you helped me because you're pathetic and you're this and you're that and you're not. And I've really felt for Harvey then, even though I started out the episode mad at him, because to be honest, he did kind of betray Lewis in the beginning when he was like, oh, what do you need? Okay, forget the team thing. I didn't like that, so I thought I was going to be mad at Harvey the whole time. And then you see Lewis actually...
But weren't you surprised about the dinner that they had, that he stayed because he decided, well, maybe this could be fun. But then once he got word from Hartman that that's not the case, obviously Harvey's going to want to be the one to get it over Lewis. But I don't know. I see, like, it was so hard to have a feeling about it, because then when he went back to Lewis to make his point, I was like, okay, so he didn't really technically I didn't
see. And so you thought that it wasn't a backstabbing?
I don't know if I would call it backstabbing.
I think Harvey's a really good lawyer, because I think in the beginning I had the same thought where I was like, wow, Harvey, I mean, you're kind of, you are kind of betraying Lewis in this moment. I get that you want it and you want to be the best lawyer. And then he argued his case later why he's loyal and Lewis wasn't. And I was like, oh, wow, you're right, Harvey. Yeah. And then I kept thinking about it afterwards. I was like, wait, was he right?
Yeah. See, okay,
I'm not sure, but I already lost in court. So
right, at this point, I'm still standing. But then you rewind to when Lewis said, well, so would this plan have worked if you would have gotten there first? So because I got there first, it's not the same thing. I was kind of like, Lewis, that's a good point too.
But Lewis wouldn't have. It's actually interesting that Harvey's pitch, all about loyalty, was, I think, the only way to get in there, and it would have been the only pitch that would have worked. And Harvey would have been the only person to figure it out.
Right.
Between him, Lewis, and everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So Hardman kind of sent him in to fail, because he knew that essentially I'm just going to have to make Harvey go back on his word and set him up to fail royally. So if Lewis were to go in there, Lewis would have wowed him with numbers.
Right.
I can increase this, I can do that, I can help you with this, blah, blah, blah. So if Lewis had gotten there first, that he would have still seen Harvey.
Well, he says at the end that Hartman told him that he wasn't going to give it to Harvey anyway. So that's why he did what he did, so that way he could get in there.
And then when they have that talk one-on-one after everything, and he says, we're the ones against each other, blah, 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 blah. I'm just thinking, like, okay, but you still tried to one-up Harvey again.
Yes. It's never been, I don't think on either side it's ever, is it wrong for me to say it's never been a teamwork? I don't think that's...
It's had moments, I think, of teamwork, but I don't think it's ever
it's like almost not possible.
With Lewis, it's not teamwork.
Oh, I don't think with Harvey either. I don't think it's on purpose. I'm not saying it in a negative way. I think that they both mean to look out for each other, but I don't think it's possible with at that time with Hardman as their...
But it's Lewis, but like, isn't there a comment by Jessica when she's having the conversation with Donna that Harvey in the flashback wasn't doing it for the firm, he was doing it for him at a point?
Yeah, but my argument would be that that was his only pitch. His pitch was to pitch him, and it was Hardman's fault for sending him in. So Hardman wasn't... We're talking pure teamwork. Hardman was not being a very good leader.
He wasn't.
Sending someone in to fail.
And you're burning a bridge with a potential client down the road.
Seriously.
Sure, the other one
triple
might
the
be
billables.
Bigger, and triple the billables.
Right.
But to do that without it happening accidentally, Hartman set that up.
That's
so
crazy.
He knew that he was going to have to drop him, and that just seems like bad business.
Yeah. But also Hardman's like kind of an ass and definitely used the money for his like stripper side gig while his wife had cancer. So there's that.
There we go.
I remember. I will never forget. I'm like, I kind of hate you. So seeing him again, I was like, I really don't like you. I think obviously wonderful like character work.
You don't have to like him. You have to understand him. You're still gonna hate him. That's how I thought about him, and it was just upfront with this character.
I like that, but I feel like when I first met Lewis and I didn't understand him, I still grew to have many moments of sensitivity and love.
Well, but Lewis is also like chock full of quirks and has that lovable side to it. Like
cats,
he's a character.
USA
character. He's
oh my
certainly
gosh.
one of them.
Characters welcome. Okay. I kind of love them. So let's head into Trevor and Mike and kind of get through that flashback.
Trevor's like such a loser.
And we're starting
his
there.
comments, like all his little like the things that he says, like fart face and stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah, they were funny.
How old are you, man?
Exactly.
I thought they were stupid, but it was funny between them because they were both losers at that point, to be honest. And I thought,
Mike did not look like a loser.
He didn't look like
he
one.
didn't talk like one either. You know,
he was so smart. It just
so hot.
He was just in the loser moment. Don't you have a boyfriend?
All right.
Don't you have a boyfriend?
We gotta cool
Leave it
this
for me.
side of the room down.
Okay, I don't have.
But actually, I like him without a suit on. Dude,
yeah, no, I agree.
I agree. Good without his suit
I think
on.
he looks like a normal person.
Yeah.
I love when he used to go to Rachel's house with just sweatshirts. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I mean,
because they're always in suits. Hence the I'm like they're always. But even when I see Harvey in just like a V-neck and sweats, I'm sorry, I'm too specific.
Although you'll rarely see those things because that's true. This show is very accurate of the hours a lawyer works.
Right.
Yeah.
Just 80 plus.
Yeah. So
just you live in your office.
It's nuts. Yeah. There's so many episodes. This is kind of off topic that I've seen Jessica just like there and after hours, and I'm like, girl, no wonder you don't have. It's a lot. But anyway, let's say that your friend, accidentally kind of got you to drop out of school because of their mishaps. So would you take a year of rent as kind of, helping you back into it?
Yeah. If I was needing it.
If I were in Mike's position, like, I'm not going to say down and out because Mike never seemed down and out in these flashbacks, but he definitely seemed down from where he was.
Sure.
So if I were in Mike's position, I could see that as a certain level of charity. Mm-hmm. But then again, Trevor didn't seem to have his stuff together. If it was one thing is like, I started at this firm, I'm getting my life together, and I really I want to keep you around. Mm-hmm. That was not the case.
It was like smoke a joint and hang out with me on the couch.
Yeah, it was like, no, I smoke weed and I'm starting this new thing next week. Mm-hmm. But I'm still selling the weed. I'm still totally.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I could see being Mike and going in with the situation.
Mm-hmm. What about you personally?
Me, I'm trying to think. I think if I were, I don't know how old Mike is in the situation. I feel like now I would know better. Mm-hmm. But when I was younger, if I had a friend and and I didn't want to lose that friendship, I probably would have done it. And I think I should have listened to my granny.
Yeah, I thought Trevor's friendship was so toxic, and I thought that there were so many moments I was like, I mean, this isn't even the flashback that showed us how Trevor really was, because we've seen so many things back in the beginning of the series that, shows Trevor just was not a good friend. But in this episode, there were definitely parts I'm like, well, he's trying to be, get you back and blah, blah. And then there's other times I'm like, Mike, listen to your grandmother. You do not need this friend. When she was like, I know he'll never change. I was like, wow, he never did change. So I thought that was really cool and honest. But I also appreciated when he stood up to her. He was like, look, I'm a grown man. Yeah. I really need to make these decisions. So it all, after a while, I think it was a good.
And Trevor wasn't, as much as he seemed a little like retarded to me this whole episode.
No.
I just thought that there was points where, he was trying to tell him, don't lie to this girl. Right. It's going to get you in trouble.
That's true. Don't smoke weed because you're better than I am. Yeah. I think Trevor believes that.
Yeah. And he was like, crash here for now because you helped me and you had my back. And so, there's pros and cons to him as a friend. Sure. But he's a young guy that just... Mike could easily get his stuff together, and he, on the other hand, you can see that it's going to take him some time.
Sure, I love that. I want to see Trevor in the present. I want to run into each other. I want to see what happens.
No,
not after what he did.
I know, but I'm saying not necessarily. I want to see them run into each other and see where Mike's forgiveness radar has landed. He's had to do so much forgiving and much being forgiven.
I feel like Mike forgives him, but I hope Mike has learned to not fall back into that.
No, I don't think he would.
And we've had present day Trevor encounters.
Yeah, but
season 2.
That's what led us to where now. Yeah, that's true. We've seen them. I just wonder after that huge fight and after that huge partying, how would Mike?
And like, where did he wind up? Is he still selling weed? Did he finally get his life together?
Gosh. Rachel and him are going on their 5-year anniversary. You better not be selling. I'm kidding, but I just hope that's not where he is. But that would be interesting. Anyway. What were you thinking, Steven?
I was actually I looked at a comment there where people was like, this is coming back to the suits that we all love.
Oh, I love in terms of just it's like there's no
not
inner turmoil. Because the Lewis lit of the past 3 or 4 weeks has been very much a wrench in the otherwise.
Absolutely.
Us giving zingers and then solving cases.
Absolutely.
But
I love it.
So we're getting back to the suits that everyone else. I've loved every episode. I don't know.
I've only had I think I've literally had 2 that weren't but you guys know when I started, I binge watched the show. Like, it was a really ridiculous Christmas break. Anyway, so let's sprinkle a little bit into Harvey and Donna's relationship from back in the day to now, which I just, oh my God, I'm obsessed with. But what did you guys think overall with the old Donna versus new Donna versus the way, I mean, I wouldn't say new Donna because she's kind of the exact same Donna. Yeah. But from her going to Jessica saying you made a big mistake to how she did that probably like a couple episodes ago or something.
Well, the couple episodes ago, there was no hesitation and she wasn't afraid. This time you could tell, like, she kind of like shrunk up like this, and she like still, even when Jessica dismissed her, she still sat down after standing up and tried to make her point. So we always see her do that, but lack of confidence, I think, in the flashback. Yeah.
I just think Donna knows best.
She always has. She always has. I love it.
I think a flashback where Donna doesn't know everything would be really fun, but I don't know if there is one.
I know.
Was there ever a time when she didn't?
I don't know.
Maybe we're going to find out
elementary
next
school?
episode.
Are we going to flashback to
No, I could see her like on the playground telling kids what's up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
like even when they opened this episode when she was with Rachel talking to the waiter, I'm like,
that was so funny. She's like, if I still remember you, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was a guy hitting on her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't the waiter.
Oh, it was a guy?
It was a guy.
I thought it was the waiter.
Because she said, here, okay, hand me that Manhattan.
Yeah, she goes, go get yourself a manly drink.
Go get yourself a manly drink, and if I remember you after this drink.
There you go.
I don't think of Manhattans as a girly drink.
No, I don't.
I do.
Think so.
There are
You do?
I'm a bartender out here, and there are girls that drink Manhattans out here. I think it makes a woman look like intimidating.
Okay, what is a girly drink that men order?
That men order?
Oh, apple martinis.
Men order apple martinis.
Really girly.
Men
That's
order like the vodka soda, and
that's not really girly,
the vodka
though.
soda,
That's very
splash of cran.
unisex.
I guess so.
That's
but
what?
the splash of cran.
No.
And then I go, I wonder about you. But even like a vodka Sprite, it's like, why do you need the sugar? Why can't you just stick it with the tonic? You know, I don't know.
That's okay. My husband still orders lava flows.
Oh,
but like not it's so cute. He's like a little kid. He's
got
his.
I don't know what that is.
It's pina colada and strawberry daiquiri mixed together.
That's a pretty girly drink.
It's super girly.
It sounds
but
good.
it's really good.
Some of us who are watching the calories have to order vodka sodas, not because we don't want anything cooler. It's just that we pretty much just want
if you
to
want to
take
lower your
on
calories,
vodka.
drink some gin.
I don't do
Gin makes me angry.
I don't do gin.
I drink gin and whiskey. I drink like a man. I find the man drink with a girl who's dressed up in like black and her high heels. You've got a little scotch or whatever. It's hot. It's cool. It makes a statement.
You're Harvey's kind of girl.
Exactly.
I want to be Harvey's kind of girl.
I'm gonna need you to stop trying to steal my man.
No, you will like mine.
I can't have all of them,
Give me mine.
You gotta choose one,
right? I'm like,
Stacy.
Hardman, don't touch. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm Mike team. I'm Team Mike all the way. Oh my gosh.
I'm Team Mike in a sweatshirt.
That's right. Change.
We've established
okay, let's talk. Do you guys have anything else from this episode that you kind of want to bring up?
I don't believe I do. I feel like, I actually do. I loved at the end when they're leaving, they're going their separate ways, how Harvey's like, you guys take the driver back, and Lewis says, how about we take the car and I'll teach Mike how to drive. But then he says the whole thing about make sure you don't scratch it up, whatever, and Mike says, you don't trust me? And he's like, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. You're a fraud.
Yeah.
And Lewis is like, that's what I've been saying.
I did.
It was such a cute little,
really
I loved it. It was a great way to end it.
Then he starts talking about like hot dogs or something.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
It's basically like drinking a hot dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to see now that we've seen Lewis calm down and he's worked it out with everyone. First of all, I'm so happy about that. I want to see what next episode is going to bring in terms of now. Okay, there's something going on with Donna. Like, where's Lewis going to stand? There's other. I just cannot wait to see Lewis back on. You know, he'll still have his Lewis tendencies, but I want to see him as a team player. I'm excited to see that version.
Also, it's like drinking a hot dog in ad lib. Aaron Korsh just tweeted that this morning.
Oh, really?
They ad-libbed that line.
I was wondering. I bet that he has a strong background in improv.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
Rick
Harvey
Hoffman.
does, especially because, maybe not especially, I think whatever it is between Mike and Harvey that they could do these throw lines. Because some of them I'm like, there's no way that was written. I'm sorry. Like that literally came out of you right now.
Right.
And it works. So I just kudos to all of them.
And Lewis just kept saying like, yeah, I checked up on that. Yeah, I checked up on
That
that.
was
Like,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
for the rest of the series.
funny.
Exactly, I predict.
I actually was okay with it. That was
going
really
to-
funny. He's like, he did. I checked up. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh man,
Because
he's gonna be doing
I
that.
hope they don't hit it over the head every week, but like every now and again, it's
Throw that in.
every now and again it's like, yeah, I got thrown out of Atlantic City for counting cards. Everybody just turns to Lewis. He's like, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
1998.
That's
Exactly.
awesome. I could see that. It's scary that Lewis is in his world now like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I just remember when the secret was ours and just ours, and now that it's okay with, it's a little weird, but like I said, I mean, we've
It's
gone
funny
over the
because it
hurdle.
does feel like we were in the inner circle.
It was just us.
Yeah.
And now we know, it's like, do we trust Lewis with this
Yes,
secret? Like, because
exactly.
it's almost as if it actually cost
happened
us
to us.
something.
I'm like, Lord, I don't
Right.
know what
It
a law
doesn't.
school. Yeah, I'm like, we still have to go to work tomorrow. Anyway, so with that said, let's head into predictions.
Yes.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, you guys, I love giving the floor to you guys during this moment. So what do you think, Steven?
I actually only have one big prediction, and
Okay.
it was actually brought to my attention on the same Reddit thread by Skip to My Lou LOU 416. Because I feel bad taking stuff from
Sure,
Reddit
sure,
and just trying
sure.
to make it my own.
Sure.
But he brought up that Julia, if she was an intern in law school in this flashback 6 years ago, is probably a lawyer by now. And Mike is probably going to have to square off with her sometime in the future.
Awesome.
And she's going to know that he wasn't going to Columbia 6 years ago. Meaning he couldn't have possibly gone to Harvard and been, what is he, a fourth year associate now? Fifth year by the time they face off?
Oh man,
That's fun. It's either her or the gentleman that called him out on not being a student at
I
Columbia.
did not like that gentleman.
That
I was like, ugh, get away.
Or the guy that he met with last episode regarding the
Harvard
money.
student as well. There are a
Yeah.
couple people coming
There are a
back.
couple-
There are a couple
exactly.
people
I
coming for him.
really want that for Claire to come back.
Yeah,
and-
because we need the girl. We
That
had
needs to happen.
Rachel's guy, so we need.
And I
Mike's
think
girl.
Claire needs to come back and choose whether she wants to protect Mike's secret or not.
Yeah.
I also think it would be kind of cool if she's in like a terrible relationship with that guy from the law clinic she was.
Oh yeah. Oh
I would
God,
be sad
he's
though.
dumb.
I want all this.
Yeah, I didn't like him. He was.
And then she gets to see
that's a
Mike
lot
and
of
everything
drama.
she could have had.
Oh, hell.
Girl, she gets to have him in real life. Like, you literally get to
Yeah.
marry the man of
Yeah.
who knows how many people's dreams.
And
I love
I'm
it.
pretty sure whatever Donna hid or stole last week or next week, she'll be protecting herself because she's already protected Harvey and
Right, it has
fallen
nothing
in
to
it
do
for
with
that.
everybody
So
else.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure we'll find out.
Awesome. How about you?
I had the same thought last night, but I didn't think of it in terms of the girl with the girl. I thought about it with the sleazy lawyer guy.
Right.
But I think it would be even juicier if it is her.
Absolutely.
And then as far as I'm so intrigued to find out what's going to go on with Donna next week. My only prediction there is she's not going to get fired.
Yes.
Or if she does, she'll come back because we
Right.
can't have a show without Donna.
Honestly,
No.
I really don't even know if she gets fired again. How would she come back though?
I don't know, which is why I don't think she
She's
will.
not getting fired. Okay, cool. What do you think?
I guess I have to predict who's going to come to Donna's rescue. I just feel like Donna's rescued Harvey and Lewis, and now that everybody's kind of like back on the team, I hope that the people that she's done favors for will do it for her in this next episode.
I love it.
Or the guy who tried to order a Manhattan.
Or that guy.
That guy.
Or the waiter.
I absolutely love you guys' predictions this episode, and I really want to see the Claire thing come back.
Yeah,
Trevor,
that's
and you are
crazy.
fabulous on Pretty Little Liars. So it was very cool to see her again. I kind of want to see some stuff happen with Rachel and law school. What's happening? What's your schoolwork
She's in her
look like?
first.
What's your
She's in her
professor?
first year, and she's going crazy. It sounds like.
Well, that's the thing. I want a little taste of that and see where Mike lands in her circle, because we don't get to see. We know she's busy, but we only knew it in the beginning of season 4. I feel like, you know what I mean, there was a lot more of I can't sleep and I can't. Now she's right back into the law firm, so I would love to see Rachel in that hub. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Cool. Definitely.
All right, people, so where can everyone find you to keep in touch with you for the next week while we patiently wait for another episode of Suits?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Nicole Brajer, and please subscribe to Real TV Films. I'm covering Oscars week, and it's going to be awesome.
Love it.
Hey guys, you can find me on my site, thefancyhippie.com, or on all social media at thefancyhippie.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Steve Kauffmann. That's Kaufmann. I host wrestling pay-per-views once a month, Modern Family on Wednesday nights, and Gotham on Monday nights. I'm one of the most versatile hosts I know.
Gosh, I got to top you. No, I don't think I can. You guys check me out on Twitter and Instagram at OneTakeStace, also on my website at KnowMeLiving.com. And I'm here doing How to Get Away with Murder at 7 o'clock, and Wednesdays doing Blackish. So I hope to see you guys then, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.
Peace. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah, or might have been
Buzz you later.
That might have been.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.